Joining us now, BYUtv football analyst, our good friend, BYU Sports Nation backup quarterback, and GQ model in training, Brian Logan. Brian, welcome back to the show, brother.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, let's ask you the Twitter question. Where do you hope BYU improved the most in spring football?
Obviously the defensive side, because defense wins championships, baby. So, I think the offense has done a great job these last few years with Taysom, and I think they proved that they can be productive even without him. And Christian Stewart coming in and balling out, but defensively, I feel like they've struggled a little bit just with some youth and especially some injuries. So I am hopeful that Coach Mendenhall got these guys back into shape. And they are ready to become the Bronco Mendenhall defense that we know that they can be.
Okay, before we get your opinion on whether the defense will be better under Bronco, do you think BYU is more or less talented with the personnel going into 2015 on defense?
I think they're more talented, and that doesn't mean that they're going to be better because of that more talent. They're talented, but they don't have experience. These guys are really, really young. And the fact that a lot of these guys got some good game reps, quality reps against quality opponents last year is definitely going to help out. But when it comes to the playbook, man, when it comes to those X's and O's, it doesn't matter how talented you are if you don't know what you're doing or where you're going. I could be big, strong, and fast. I could run a 4.4 at the linebacker position, but if I'm going through that wrong gap and blowing up an offensive tackle for no reason, then it just really doesn't really matter, right? It's all for nothing. So more talent, but not as experienced.
Are you talking, when you talk about the team, it seems like the defensive line, almost all those guys come back. The linebackers, almost all those guys come back. And then the secondary is where it's real young. Agree, disagree?
Well, I agree, but when you look at the linebackers, and so something that I think people have to understand is somebody can be a senior, right? But that doesn't mean that they have experience. They don't have the game reps, the quality reps. And so a lot of the linebackers, they do have some of those reps. And I'm talking about more guys in spring. Probably Manoa probably has the most as far, and Bronson, as far as those reps and those game reps, quality reps. But as far as, knowing the playbook and knowing the system, being in the right spot, that's where I believe those guys are young at. And obviously, the secondary, age and as far as the repetition, the quality game reps that they need, they're lacking there. The defensive line, that's probably the most, position that has the most seniority there. It has some good quality reps. Those are good, talented guys. But, personally, I don't know how big of a factor the defensive line can be in a Coach Mendenhall defense, only because their job is to really, take up blocks. We consider them block eaters, making holes and gaps for these linebackers to get pressure on the quarterback and make tackle for losses. So even though there's good experience there, I'm not sure how much of a factor that they can become.
So how much can Bronco Mendenhall taking over the defense make up for those concerns that you bring up, Brian?
That's exactly what he does, Coach Mendenhall. When it comes to guys that don't have the experience or guys that don't have the talent, the guys that aren't the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, he has a way to get guys playing to their full potential, where those things don't really matter. And so when you look at a team like BYU that is going to outwork you, but may not have the most talent, and then you factor that in with one of the best defensive coaches in the nation. I mean, that's a pretty good formula to set yourself up for success. So I have all the confidence in the world with Coach Mendenhall. And I mean, I say this all the time, but you look at somebody like myself, who's 5'9" on a good day, who was somewhat successful. You look at some of the other walk-ons, guys like Andrew Rich, Scott Johnson that I played with in the secondary that, again, weren't the biggest, fastest, strongest, but, we were a top 25 secondary. And so he knows what he has, and he does a good job of putting guys in positions to make really good plays on the field.
Brian, who stuck out in spring ball, specifically in the secondary, as BYU tries to replace 3 starters there?
Michael Shelton stood out to me the most. It's a joke because everybody's saying that's mini B Logan, right? You know, mini B Logan.
Mini B Logan. Wow.
That's what they say. You know, even though he has like 2-3 inches on me, you know, which everybody does, but that's what they're saying. It's a mini Brian Logan. I think I'm a little bit more handsome than he is, but you know, he really stuck out to me the most in the secondary, and the reason is because of his instincts. This kid, his instinct, that's something that you can't coach, and you can't teach it. You got to just hope that these players have it. And as a corner, that's what you need. And very instinctive. He has quick feet. He has good hips. He's physical. I love everything about him except for his off coverage skills. And so playing in more of a press coverage up against, you know, on the line of scrimmage, where he's able to press the receiver, disrupt some timing. I think that's his best asset, his best skill set. And that's exactly what my best skill was as well, as a cover two. You know, really not having to worry about the deep threat, not having to worry about anything except for the flats. And I could just be a natural player. I didn't have to think a lot. I could play quicker because of that. And because of my instincts, I was able to make good plays. You know, had some good pass breakups. And also, I didn't, you know, when it came down to down the field coverage, you know, I didn't have to worry too much about the deep ball, you know, being 5'6" and covering 6'5" corners. So, you know, if he can focus on his off-field coverage, more man situations, which, you know, really what you need from a field corner in this defense, you know, I think he'll be one of the top DBs to come out of BYU. I said that about Michael Davis. I think I now feel like Michael Shelton is probably going to be that guy.
Brian Logan joins BYU Sports Nation. Brian, you mentioned Michael Shelton. Throw out a couple other names that might be new to BYU fans that maybe didn't play last year that are emerging in the secondary.
You know, I would say that how do I pronounce his name?
Takanaka.
Eric Takanaka.
Takanaka. You know, I got to give love to the JT guys, right? You know, I would have him starting right now. He's competing with Chris Badger. He would be a starter for me.
At safety.
I like that. Yeah, at free safety. You know, I keep Nakua at cat. Obviously, that's he's had good reps there. He's comfortable. But as a free safety, I mean, he's athletic. We know what he was doing at junior college. You know, one of the top safeties in the nation as far as interceptions. You know, ball hawk, has some great return skills. So you obviously know he's an athlete, which means, you know, which is why he's playing the position, right? DBs are the most athletic players on the field, point blank, period. So he's another guy that really stood out to me. You know, I think when you throw Prater back in the mix, and you have and Coach Mendenhall can find a way, Coach Howe can find a way to get all these guys on the field. It's not the same time, but you know, get them on the field when certain plays are called that are going to help their strengths. I think you'll see a pretty strong secondary for being so young, and I mean young as far as you know, lack of game reps.
The one and only Brian Logan. Follow him on Twitter at BrianLogan7. We like to call him B-Lo as well. Thanks for the time, Brian.
No problem. Yeah, please give me some follows. I got to beat Spencer.
Shameless plug.
Got to catch up, man.
You're losing, Brian. You're losing.
I know. Not for long, though.
All right, man. We'll see.
All right, see you guys.
All right, good to talk to you.